The term racial capitalism is believed to have originated in a pamphlet released by the anti-apartheid movement in London in 2020. In his book Black Marxism, Cedric J. Robinson engages in a critical conversation with the Eurocentrism present in Karl Marx's theories. Robinson highlights Marx's oversight in recognizing the significance and revolutionary potential of social movements beyond Europe. He contends that Marxism fails to adequately address the racial aspects inherent in capitalism. Robinson emphasizes the fundamental role of race and racial differentiation in shaping class identities within capitalism. Instead of promoting homogenization, capitalism tends to fragment societies. Robinson's central thesis asserts that various modes of production coexist and overlap. He posits that remnants of pre-capitalist societies persist within the capitalist system. According to Robinson, racism serves as a tool for encoding, managing, and legitimating the relationships between these modes of production and their associated differentiated labor. Rejecting the idea that capitalism represents a radical departure from feudalism, Robinson builds on the sociological work of Oliver Cromwell Cox. Capitalism emerged within feudalism, intertwined with pre-existing forms of racialism within Western feudal society. Robinson views capitalism and racism not as a break from the old order, but as an evolution producing a modern world system of racial capitalism reliant on slavery, violence, imperialism, and genocide. Racialization was already ingrained in Western feudal society, making capitalism inherently racial. Racialization within Europe was a colonial process involving invasion, settlement, expropriation, and the establishment of racial hierarchies. Robinson's radical perspective challenges the limitations of methodological nationalism and Eurocentrism in understanding capitalism. He encourages viewing the emergence of capitalism as a global system rather than confined to national boundaries. He questions the notion that there is only one path for economic and societal development, rejecting the idea of a predetermined political agent for a revolutionary change. He emphasizes the importance of recognizing the histories of African diaspora as a repository of anti-capitalist struggles. Many scholars have expanded on Robinson's ideas, especially in light of the renewed discussions sparked by the Black Lives Matter movement. Many scholars engage in a productive debate about the role of the state in the evolution of racial capitalism. The discussion delves into how the state, despite its repressive functions, can act in ways that don't necessarily align with the bourgeoisie's interests, posing complexities in capital-labor relations. Ruth Wilson Gilmore further contributes by exploring the geographies of racial capitalism, highlighting global dynamics and how racism influences neoliberalism and austerity. She emphasizes capitalism's reliance on equality and how racism reinforces it. Gilmore extensively examines the prison industrial complex, particularly in California during the 1970s and 80s, revealing the significant financial investments in building prisons. She argues that criminalization serves economic elites in maintaining racial order and hierarchy, stemming from historical legacies like slavery and genocide. In her book Change Everything, Racial Capitalism and the Case for Abolition, Gilmore advocates for abolitionism, not merely rejecting police, prisons, and border control, but organizing persistently for essential needs like education, healthcare, housing, meaningful work, and freedom from violence. She contends that dismantling racial practices and hierarchies requires undoing capitalism, echoing Malcolm X's perspective. Robin Kelley, a prominent US historian, shares a common interest with Ruth Wilson Gilmore in exploring whether the abolitionist movement can effectively challenge white supremacy and class dominance. Describing himself as a Marxist surrealist feminist who advocates for emancipation and liberation, Kelly investigates the political dynamics and roles of social movements within African American culture. His work centers on the concept of racial capitalism, examining its weaponization throughout US history. Kelly emphasizes the intersectionality of racism, classism, heteropatriarchy, and ableism, arguing that a genuine abolitionist future requires addressing all these aspects together. To understand racism and capitalism historically and in the present while envisioning a radical alternative future, Gargi Bhattacharya's 10 Theses on Racial Capitalism offers valuable insights. According to Bhattacharya, racial capitalism is not about viewing capitalism as a racist conspiracy or racism as a capitalist conspiracy. Feminist discussions can help reconsider the role of non-work in an expanded understanding of social production. Racism has a distinct history that predates capitalism. Racial capitalism involves both the exercise of coercive power and the mobilization of desire. New and unpredictable forms of oppression need understanding. The division of people in the name of economic survival or well-being must be grasped. Racial capitalism describes techniques and formations, disciplining and ordering bodies through gender, sexuality, disability, and age. Racial capitalism is closely intertwined with processes leading to ecological crises. Dehumanization appears inevitable in the development of capitalism. Racial capitalism explains why society seems divided yet intimately interconnected. Bhattacharya's theses provide a comprehensive framework for comprehending the intricate relation between racism and capitalism, addressing historical nuances and contemporary challenges.